This week in Hearthstone, this is Jay. Happy Monday, everybody, or whenever you're watching this video. Let's get into some decks that you can use to climb the standard ladder. Remember, as always, it's bronze through gold. We're trying to get through with the least amount of dust as possible. Audio Apocalypse just launched last week, so there's a little bit of a shakeup. If you look at the win rates right now, Paladin still up on top, but there's been a shift. Hunter is now higher than it was. Warrior is now back up with a positive win rate as a whole. They're number 3. Beating Death Knight, if you think about it, which is crazy. Beating Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter went to number 6. Right now, Mage isn't looking too good, Rogue isn't looking that great, and Druid isn't looking that great at all. Obviously, your mileage may vary. Like I said, going through, actually, I say this all the time, every single time. You're playing a class, there is a deck right now that is above 50% win rate. So remember that. So, like I said, Audio Apocalypse came out a couple of days ago. I want to go over some of the cards that have been shown, but let's look at some of the new decks or the kind of different decks that's been happening for the past couple of days. One thing I saw, OTK Cagehead Death Knight. Say that 10 times fast. This is using that new combo with the Yelling Yodeler. God, say that 10 times fast. Yelling Yodeler has the battle cry of trigger friendly minions death rattle twice. It is a hunter and a death knight. Getting this dual class, every single one of these dual classes has a possibility for you. If you're looking for value in the game, you have the ability to play 2 classes using this card. So this is cool. So anyway, Yelling Yodeler is working for the death rattles like Foul Egg. That's a good death rattle. And then all the other death rattles that are in this game, especially Cagehead. So I saw Funky Monkey, I saw a couple other players playing this deck, and it looks like they're just throwing multiple 9/9 Blight Boars with Charge and Taunt on the board, just totally decimating their opponent. So this is something to take a look at. It's 4,400 dust. If I remember correctly, the win rate is around 47.4, so it's not great, it's not terrible. It's probably going to be above 50%. It's just still that the meta is, figuring itself out with the new mini set. So give this a look. I have a feeling we will see this much more often, much more refined, and, Death Knight's not going anywhere. Next one up, Spell Demon Hunter. The reason I put this in here is because it's 4,500 dust or 4,560 dust. It's using a lot of the cards that's been in the normal rotation. There's not a lot of cards in here that are from the mini set. I think there's through Felon Flames, which is just a rare. This one should be easy to go. And it's the same thing as it is before. Just build the spells, use the discounted spells to get Steno out, and Steno will kick the crap out of everything that's on the board and your face. So it's also got Soul Eater Sky. Some of these words, some of these text on here is just crazy. It's the same before, but like I said, it's low cost, very inexpensive. It breaks up the monotony right now because we haven't, we've been talking about, when we talk about Demon Hunter, we've been talking about Outcast, we've been talking about Relic Demon Hunter, we haven't been talking about this one, so let's just go back, and that's what we do. We bounce back and forth how it works. It's doing great with Pure Paladins, doing great with Paladins, doing great with Priest. The win rate on Death Knight isn't that great, but I think this is something that you should definitely give a try if you haven't already. Let's see the next one. This one was super interesting. Weapon Rogue. I looked at this, and there's not a lot of matches that's been played in right now, but it's got a 54.4% win rate, and this deck is only 1,080 dust. There's nothing crazy in this deck whatsoever. I feel that this deck is going to be very, very popular through bronze, through gold, just because of how cheap it is. And this is a good win rate. And it's if you look at this versus, look at against Demon Hunter, 78.6%, against Druid, 75.6%. These are big numbers. These are not nothing to shake a stick at. Against Warlock, 60% win rate. Against another Rogue, 64.9%. So this is something I definitely would consider you guys, giving a look see. I think, some of the crazy ones in here are Mic Drop and Harmonic Hip Hop. That's really it. The rest of them you've seen before. There's a bunch of pirate synergy in here with Puffer Fist and Swordfish and Dread Corsair. So this one is really inexpensive at 54.4% win rate. You cannot go wrong. Like always, the links to these decks are in the description, so please take a look. Next one, Imp Warlock. Haven't seen this too often recently. It's at 5840 dust, so it's a little bit higher than the 5,000 dust limit I try to put on there, but it's Imp Warlock. It's the same thing before. There's not a lot of new decks, new cards in here from the mini set. It's just the same old. But I feel that this deck doesn't have a lot of activity on it, and it's like a sleeper deck. It's there, it disappears for a little bit, and then it comes back. So 5840 dust, I think this is good. A 59.4% win rate. We don't see Warlock in the matchups right now, and it fights very well. It holds its own against Demon Hunter, Death Knight, Druid, Paladin. It's able to fight the ones that are top tier right now. So give this one a look. Next up, last deck for the video. Let's talk about Big Druid. Druid is not getting a great spot on the top 10 list. It's the last place, but this deck I think has potential. It has been around here and there for a little bit, but this is Big Druid, and Big Druid is really staying alive until the later turns, after turn 5, where you can start using those big minions that are in your deck to smash the opponent's face. So stay alive. Try to go ahead and use Timber Tambourine or Hedge Maze or Rake to keep on staying alive, and then you want to go ahead and you want to bring out the Death Blossom, which was a battle cry. Draw a Death Rattle minion and gain its Death Rattle. All of your Death Rattle minions in the hand, hopefully they're in there, are, large, but they also have a very good Death Rattle. You have Kolak in there, the Colossal, which is immune while you control the shell, Neptulon, which is an amazing minion. It's a 7/7 with the Colossal 2 with Rush Wind Fury. You've probably seen it before. I'm sure you've seen it before. Next one, Stoneborn General. Rush with a Death Rattle. Summon an 8/8 Gravewing with Rush. So this is the deck. I think it's, it's nothing great or spectacular. It's 6820 dust, which is a little bit higher than normal, but it also breaks the monotony of what we've been seeing. We can get decks right now that are, less than 5,000, but it's all been seen recently. So feel free to go to any one of my previous, I'd say 4 or 5 videos, and you're going to find some decks that are still viable today. This deck right now against Druid, it's stacked up pretty well, 69.8. So this is the best of the Druids. This is all very good win rate against Death Knights, and very good win rate against Warriors and Warlocks. So it has potential. It's also good with Priest and also good with Rogue, also pretty good with Shaman. And the idea with this is, some of the decks right now that are being played, and it has been for a while now with Death Knight, Demon Hunter, what have you, it'll hold its own. And this is something that'll maybe help get away from the monotony of fighting and losing to Death Knights all the time. So that's it for this week. Please tell me what you think of all these videos. I've got another video out this week that's going to talk about saving gold. I do these videos every Monday, and I'm looking for new opportunities to start showing some of these decks in action. Haven't got to it yet, but I am working on that. And please like and subscribe.